the moment Nike's tunnel spoke, and the entire world went silent. Nike inadvertently disclosed everything. And no one was supposed to witness it this soon. 10 days before Alexandra Eala stepped onto one of the grandest courts in professional tennis, she strolled through a corridor at Nike World Headquarters in Oregon. And what unfolded inside those walls refused to stay contained. It rippled across the globe instantly. Millions of eyes locked onto photographs that were never intended to ignite the internet the way they did. Portraits, messages, a flower, a declaration etched in text that read, "History in full bloom." This was no accident. Or perhaps it was. That is the question scorching through every tennis community, every Filipino household, every sports analyst who watched those Instagram stories surface on February 27, 2026. Because here is what you must grasp before anything else. What Nike positioned on that tunnel wall does not simply honor a 20-year-old athlete. It announces a dynasty taking shape. And by the time this story concludes, you will see every piece of this puzzle exactly the way Nike intended, whether they meant to expose it or not. Stay with this because it deepens with every chapter. Born May 23, 2005 in Quezon City, Philippines, Alexandra Eala entered a world where Filipino women had never penetrated the top 50 in professional tennis. Not once, not ever. The sport at its highest tier had simply never witnessed a Filipina standing among the elite. Not because the talent was absent, but because the pathway never existed. Eala constructed her own. At merely 8 years old, Globe Telecom detected something extraordinary in a child barely old enough to comprehend sponsorship arrangements, signing her as an ambassador and planting a seed of conviction before the world even recognized her name. She drilled relentlessly, traveled internationally, and absorbed every encounter like a sponge drawing in the Pacific Ocean, endlessly, hungrily, without boundary. By 2020, she had ascended to a combined ITF junior ranking of world number 2. By 2022, she shattered an entire nation's ceiling, becoming the first Filipino ever to claim a Grand Slam junior singles championship, capturing the girls' category at the US Open. That triumph did not merely rewrite Philippine tennis history. It declared loudly and without apology that something seismic had materialized. Nike had already observed enough. They outfitted her on court, watched her compete, noted the manner in which she conducted herself under pressure, and recognized a generational brand athlete when one appeared before them. The partnership intensified year by year, tournament by tournament, milestone by milestone. Then came March 2025. Armed with a wild card and ranked 140th, Eala entered the Miami Open as a qualifier nobody circled on their bracket. What followed belongs in an entirely separate conversation. She defeated Yelena Ostapenko. She dismantled Madison Keys. She toppled 5-time Grand Slam champion Iga Swiatek, becoming the first wild card in tennis history to eliminate 3 major champions in consecutive sets at a single WTA event. The Philippines erupted. The tennis world held its breath, and Eala simply walked back to the baseline, composed as though she had always belonged there. By March 31, 2025, she entered the WTA Top 100, the first Filipino woman in history to attain that standing. By February 23, 2026, she reached a career-high ranking of world number 31, vaulting 16 positions in a single week. Every tournament she entered, packed stadiums accompanied her. In Oceania, in the Middle East, wherever Alexandra Eala appeared, an entire nation journeyed alongside her. And Nike observed every single match. But here is what nobody was prepared for. What Nike did next. February 27, 2026. Oregon, United States. Eala had just landed on American soil, arriving early to prepare for 2 of the most consequential tournaments of her professional career. The Indian Wells Open beginning March 4th and the Miami Open launching March 17th. Both WTA 1000 events. Both career-defining opportunities. Both capable of propelling her into the top 20 for the first time. Before a single serve was struck, before a single practice session commenced, she made a detour. Nike World Headquarters, Beaverton, Oregon, the very campus where legends are enshrined, where Michael Jordan's legacy breathes through architecture, where athletes who have transcended their sport are permanently immortalized in corridors the general public rarely glimpses. Eala walked in, documented everything on Instagram stories, and pressed share. What transpired next moved at digital velocity. She posted a series of captures from the headquarters of the global sportswear giant, including a video of herself showcasing a photo wall displaying some of her landmark moments. But it was not merely photographs on a wall. Inside the legendary tunnel, the hallowed passageway where Nike's greatest global ambassadors across every sport are permanently enshrined, Alex Eala's portrait now hung. One portrait bore the inscription "History in Full Bloom," positioned along that storied corridor alongside other Nike global ambassadors across all disciplines, where Eala posed with a wide smile and a peace sign. And then arrived the image that paralyzed the internet, Eala mirroring her largest portrait on display, both hands covering her face in disbelief and tears, captured at the moment she advanced to the Final Four of the Miami Open the previous year. That photograph, frozen in the unfiltered emotion of a wild-card teenager realizing she had just reached a WTA 1000 semifinal, now occupied permanent space alongside the most celebrated athletes on the planet. The internet did not merely respond. It detonated. Within hours, the photographs cascaded across every platform: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook pages throughout the Philippines and beyond. Sports journalists, tennis analysts, Filipino celebrities, and millions of supporters began screenshotting, sharing, and theorizing. GMA Sports published coverage of Eala at Nike HQ. The tennis letter circulated the images. Threads ignited. Comment sections overflowed with one persistent question: what exactly does this signify? Because nobody accidentally earns their portrait in that tunnel. Nobody accidentally receives a personalized welcome at Nike's most prestigious address. This was not a casual visit. This was orchestrated, deliberate, and saturated with intention. So what was Nike truly communicating? Keep reading, because the next layer exposes every concealed detail. Let's examine precisely what greeted Alex Eala upon her arrival at Nike World Headquarters, not the surface, but the substance. One image showed her reclining on a ping-pong table beside a rendering of the sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. She also captured her elegant Nike Air Rift split-toe sandal alongside a miniature tennis court adorned with the same blossom. This was not decoration. This was deliberate cultural architecture. Nike did not simply place a Philippine national flower on merchandise and label it branding. They wove Filipino identity into the very DNA of Eala's ambassador relationship, a calculated, sustained, multi-year investment in connecting her athletic identity to her cultural heritage, making her simultaneously a world-class tennis competitor and an unbreakable emblem of Philippine pride. The two identities do not compete. They amplify each other. Consider the Wimbledon moment from 2025. For her Wimbledon debut, Nike presented Eala with a hair tie fashioned in the form of the sampaguita. The gift arrived in a specially designed box carrying a heartfelt message translating to, "If you plant, you will harvest." Then months later, Nike unveiled an Eala-inspired limited edition shirt designed by Filipino artist Georgina Camus, featuring the national flower overlaid on the All England Lawn Tennis Club's grass courts. Recognize the pattern. A custom hair accessory for Wimbledon. A limited edition cultural shirt honoring her heritage. Custom portraits immortalized at global headquarters. Personalized gifts during the Oregon visit. This is not standard ambassador treatment. This is signature athlete architecture, the same caliber of investment Nike reserves for generational figures. During her visit, the 20-year-old received customized keepsakes, including displays featuring her own imagery, underscoring her growing stature on the international tennis stage. And then there is the Nike deal renewal. The apparel giant recently extended its partnership with Eala in an arrangement reportedly valued at $75 million. $75 million for a 20-year-old ranked 31st in the world at the dawn of what analysts believe could be a decade-long dominance at the summit of professional tennis. Nike does not invest $75 million in athletes they regard as promising. They invest that figure in athletes they regard as inevitable. But before the full truth emerged, something chaotic erupted online that demands your attention. The viral momentum surrounding Eala's Nike headquarters visit collided with something uglier and far more revealing about her cultural magnitude. Across Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, fabricated narratives began multiplying at a velocity legitimate news could not match. A Facebook post alleging Wilson had extended a $45 million contract offer was debunked by fact-checking organizations. Rumors of a Yonex racket engraved with Philippine iconography proved false, as she remains under contract with Babolat. Social media claims of an Emirates airline sponsorship were similarly flagged as counterfeit, with no official confirmation to substantiate them. Then a viral post emerged alleging Michael Jordan personally selected Eala as the new face of Air Jordan, attaching an astronomical $1.8 billion figure to the arrangement. Communities across the Philippines celebrated. Comment sections flooded with pride and congratulations. The post gathered thousands of reactions within a day. None of it was verified. None of it was authentic. Then arrived the most extravagant fabrication of all. Multiple Facebook posts circulated a claim that Eala received a multi-billion-dollar proposition from Abu Dhabi billionaire Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, a supposed 10-year contract consisting of a $1 billion down payment and $600 million annually in exchange for residing in the UAE capital as queen of a newly created Abu Dhabi Diamond Tennis Championship. Fact-checkers at Verifiles and Rappler responded swiftly. No official statement from Wilson Sporting Goods or Eala existed regarding any such arrangement. No legitimate news coverage supported it, only cascading social media posts mirroring one another. But here is what demands genuine reflection beyond the corrections. Why does this keep occurring? Why does Alex Eala's name consistently attract fabricated billions? What does it reveal? It reveals the magnitude of her cultural gravity. When an athlete generates fictitious deal stories valued in the billions, stories that accumulate hundreds of thousands of reactions before any correction surfaces, it means the world already perceives them as someone whose financial trajectory could plausibly reach those stratospheric altitudes. The Filipino public is not naive. They are projecting. They are observing a young woman from Quezon City dismantling Grand Slam champions and ascending with such velocity that billion-dollar figures feel emotionally accurate even when factually unfounded. That gap between verified reality and aspirational fiction is itself a form of cultural power. And Nike comprehends cultural power better than almost any organization on earth. Eala's authentic story is already extraordinary. She has accumulated Grand Slam junior titles, climbed steadily through the WTA rankings, and secured endorsements from reputable companies that recognize her discipline and ability. Still at the beginning of her professional journey, she continues to affirm her potential through legitimate partnerships that deliver both support and credibility. The fabrications do not diminish her. They measure her. And what Nike's genuine intentions reveal about her future renders every fabricated story irrelevant. Here is the truth resting beneath everything you just encountered. Alexandra Eala's story is not about a sponsorship arrangement. It is not about a viral Instagram story, fabricated billions, or portraits suspended in a tunnel in Oregon. It is about a girl who planted, and is now beginning to harvest. From Quezon City to Nike's most legendary corridor. From junior wildcard to WTA number 31. From a nation that had never produced a top 50 professional tennis player to a global brand investment worth $75 million and expanding, every piece of this journey was earned, not inherited. The portrait on that Nike wall is not simply a moment frozen in time. It is a promise from one of the most formidable sports brands on earth that they intend to invest in this woman's legacy for years to come. And that promise, whether Nike intended to disclose it this week or not, is now visible to everyone. So here is the question worth carrying long after this concludes. 10 years from now, when people trace back the precise moment the world understood how far Alexandra Eala was always destined to go, will they point to Miami 2025? Or will they point to a tunnel in Oregon on February 27, 2026, where her portrait stood quietly among giants, and nobody noticed until it was already too late to look away? Drop your answer below. The conversation belongs to you. If this story moved you, if you believe Alexandra Eala deserves every corner of that spotlight, subscribe right now. New videos covering the biggest stories in women's tennis arrive every week, and you will not want to miss what comes next.